Hello and welcome back to Rimworld and the Chronicles of Rimmick, episode 17. My name is Barbinger. Last episode, Matt and Rimmick held their own against a pair of raids despite low food, illness, and mental breaks. Today they have even less food, are encountering even colder temperatures, and are scrambling to get the greenhouse up and running. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, research on electronics is nearing completion. We just need Matt to keep researching. Rimmick begins digging out what will eventually become a battery room. Meanwhile, a ship chunk falls through the atmosphere and lands just to the north of the shelter. This will come in handy very soon, as you'll see. Another flash storm hits the ice sheet, but with nothing to burn, it doesn't concern us. It's just an impressive light show. The last thundercrack echoes off the mountain walls as Rimmick begins planning to dig out some more steel for the greenhouse. A lot will be needed for heaters and wind turbines. Even with full rest and recreation, we can see that Matt is headed for another break. Filling his stomach won't be enough. Rimmick begins digging out steel as Matt tries to complete the research. While doing so, his intellect reaches level 8. Before the greenhouse work begins, Rimmick makes another steel bed. This will help him spend less time in bed and hopefully do more work. Baird from Northwest Cocados has fully healed and heads for home. With Matt right on the verge of completing his research, he goes into a mental break. This time it's a corpse obsession. It's disturbing but relatively harmless. Rimmick puts Isaias back to rest before, perhaps confusingly, chowing down on another mercenary. Life on the ice sheet. Then as Baird crosses the threshold, we're notified somehow that we've become allies with Northwest Kakados. This means we'll be able to call in caravans or assistance with combat. Moments later, we're notified of a refugee named Rowan fleeing from a hostile tribesperson. They're a 29-year-old stew keeper, meaning they probably know how to cook. Other than that, we don't know anything about them. And here's where it gets interesting. Rimmick has decided to let them join. We are close to having a functional greenhouse, but not that close. This certainly puts more pressure on our food situation. This could prove to be a bad decision. Rimmick takes position near the entry point while our new member finds some warmer clothing and a weapon or two. Here they are as expected. Black the Healer from Covenant of Bavassus. They are sanguine and iron-willed, have great medical skill and decent skills otherwise. We don't know why they're chasing poor Rowan, and we never will. Rimmick one-taps them dead on the ice. Rimmick assigns work priorities to Rowan, consisting mainly of cooking and research. Rimmick finally installs the steel bed before going to mine some more steel. He installs it the wrong way for the indoor hoopstone to be accessible. Oops. While Matt is still in his corpse obsession, Rowan finishes researching electronics. Rimmick chooses the next research project, which is batteries. Planning begins for 3 wind turbines. Rowan feeds Matt, who has come out of their mental break. Rimmick assigns Rowan the same schedule as the rest of the crew. Rowan can't find any recreation to do. That's a problem. Now for a bit of a building montage. Rimmick realizes she's out of components. That's okay, we have some ship chunks nearby. She gets to work dismantling the first one as Rowan has her first mental break of likely many. She's now wandering in a daze. That's 8 components from one ship chunk. Not bad. Now for some heater plans. After a rest, it's back to steel mining. Now it's a pod crash down south. Unfortunately for them, they're from Seway Pact. We're quite desperate for food, so now they're just merc meat. It's Matt's turn again. He slips into a sad wander. Rimmick is the only one still functional. Let's hope we don't get a big raid. More building. Our first wind turbine is up. We have heat. Sort of. We skip ahead a bit now. There was some corrupted footage here. Rimmick has gained food poisoning, and we're being confronted with a raider named Yolanda from the killer unit. Our sick Rimmick tries to gain advantage on the mercenary, but decides that it's too risky with how slow she's moving and heads back inside. Rowan takes over sniper duty and grabs a knife for good measure. She decides to wait until the merc approaches before heading out. She isn't fully dressed for the temperatures outside. She misses her one shot, and for some reason the merc ignores her and heads for the spike traps. Luckily they go down but don't die. We quickly recover their clothing. It looks like we'll need more than 3 heaters in here if we're going to grow vegetables. Okay, here we have our first multi-person raid. 2 raiders arrive from Soe Pact and they both have ranged weapons. This should be fun. A terrible miscalculation. They're headed straight for our new wind turbine, and I doubt that we can get there fast enough to stop them now. Damn, that was worth a lot of materials. They're gonna pay for that. On the bright side, that's 2 more mercs we can eat. In a rare moment with nobody in mental break and everybody patched up and sleeping peacefully, we'll call an end to the episode. Once again, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to leave any feedback you might have about this video or the series as a whole. I'm always looking for ways to improve. But for now, be kind, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.